Hello and welcome to this video. For those of you who are new, my name is Emmy, and for those of you who are returning watchers, I just want to say thank you so much for checking out this video. I know it's been so long since I last posted, like 4 or 5 months maybe. So as you can tell by the title of this video, I'm going to be doing a little bit of a life update, where I've been, what I'm doing over the last 5 or 6 months. There wasn't really much to report about May. It was snowing in Chicago up until I think the 3rd or 4th week in May, so there wasn't a lot to say about while I was home, but there were 2 trips that I took in May that were really fun. I went to Napa with some of my work friends who became real friends, and it was great because we were able to celebrate 2 friends' birthdays out there, and it was my first time being in Napa and going on a couple of winery tours and also eating at this amazing restaurant called Torque. I posted it all over my social media. I posted it on my blog, so if you want to check out some of that, just click the link below. I'll leave it in the description box. Great place. And then at the end of the month, I also went to Toronto with some of my really good friends from university. We had studied abroad together. We've been friends for quite some time now. And we went Memorial Day weekend, and it was really fun, just the 3 of us girls kind of hanging out. It was mostly a food trip. All of us love food, and so it was nice to be able to just kind of explore Toronto, which almost felt like a more relaxed version of New York, like a place I could live. So in June, I started Tea Tuesdays on my Instagram account, which if you're not following my Instagram, go follow at Emmy Eats. And yes, it's mostly about food, but I also post a lot about my life, especially on my stories, where I am and what I'm doing almost on a daily basis. But I started Tea Tuesdays in June, which was really fun. And it was just every Tuesday I would sit down and do either something on, I remember my very first one was talking about like ego in the workplace and how I think that it is not a good idea to have too much ego, but you still have to have a certain level of confidence when you walk into work, and that's important. Just make sure that your ego is never at the detriment of other people. So it started very work oriented at first. A lot of things just had to do with like my work, spilling the tea on corporate America and consulting. And then it quickly kind of devolved one Tea Tuesday, I think in July, where I was at an establishment in Chicago and I was getting treated, as well as my friend. If I'd been alone, I probably would have just left, but my friend and I were getting treated horribly. And so I kind of went on a rant. It just so happened to be on a Tuesday, I think, or it was a Wednesday, and I had skipped the day before. And so Tea Tuesday has just become a really fun thing. I've been able to talk about a lot of things that you guys want me to talk about, and so they're kind of like fun rants. I try not to be mean to anyone or any establishment, but like I will put you on blast if you don't come correct. So the thing is, these stories were starting to get really long on Instagram, so I actually will be moving them over to my YouTube channel in the next couple of weeks, and per the request of people on Instagram. So if you have anything you want me to spill the tea on, any questions you have, certain topics, just let me know in the comments below, and I will happily spill the tea, coming on a Tuesday soon. At the end of June, I went to New York City, which is the last YouTube video that I posted here. So if you want to just see a recap of this brief work trip that I went to, I'll leave the link for that video also down below. You can check that out, where I did a Q&A on the questions that you guys had for me on my life as a consultant. So July was probably my favorite month of this summer. I went to Europe with my friend from study abroad. You've probably seen her in a lot of my blog posts, a decent amount of my Instagram posts as well, if you follow me out there. So we decided to go back to Europe this summer, and we first hit up Switzerland, and we went to Zurich, which is where we stayed most of the time, and then we did a day trip to Lucerne. From there we went to Milan, which was great because I'll post some footage over here, but going to Milan was amazing. I'm so glad that we did, and it was great to go back. It was my first time back in the 3-4 years since I had been. It was great to go back with someone who was there when I lived there and studied abroad there. So we went back to our old school, Bocconi, which was amazing. We went to our old dorm, Arcobaleno, which I think they actually might be shutting down as a dorm. Sad. But it was great. And then we went to Luini's and so many amazing things. If you want to see more about that, you can go look through some of my older Instagram posts. I didn't do a blog post on it, just mostly stories, since I was trying to like really live in the moment, not take too many pictures. But it was amazing, and I always love Milan. From there, we went to France, which was amazing as well. That's probably the place where we actually ate the best food. And this was my now 3rd time in Paris, and every time I go, there's something new to discover. Big city, beautiful city. This was the best weather I've had while I've gone there. It was nice and warm. I had a crazy experience, or we had a crazy experience at one restaurant where you have to put in a reservation like 3 or 4 weeks in advance, and it's a either 5 or 8 course tasting menu. And like that experience was wild. It was the topic of yet again another Tea Tuesday this summer. If you missed out on that Tea Tuesday, you can read more about the comparison of 2 different set menu dining experiences that I had in Paris. It's on the blog, I'll link it below. In July, we celebrated my Mama Emmy's birthday. She's actually an October baby, but we weren't able to celebrate one of her landmark birthdays last year because unfortunately she had broken her leg. And we wanted to do something big for her because she's always doing stuff for other people. So we decided to, and it's easier to get people to travel to Chicago in the summer, so we decided to celebrate her birthday in July, and it was an absolute blast. I love my mom, and it was just so great to see so many people speaking about her and sharing like amazing stories from when she was in medical school, from when she was before medical school, when she was a kid, and having all those people come from all around the world to celebrate her. It was just amazing to see. And one thing I'll say, which is completely off topic for this video, is tell people how you feel about them now. Tell people while they're alive, while they're there, tell them how much they mean to you, because it's more impactful and meaningful for them to know now than for you to tell them, not to be morbid, but like when they're gone. So in August, I went back to LA. I think this was the second or third time this year. Of course, again, a trip filled with food. I went back to get the mukbang hot dogs that are like a big fan favorite out there in Koreatown. It's so good. If they weren't like probably 500 plus calories, I would eat those every single day. From there, August got a little rough. So I got food poisoning from the Shedd Aquarium, and it is weird because I was there with a bunch of people from my work and no one else got food poisoning. And the thing is, I had gotten food poisoning from the Shedd Aquarium before. I've only actually been to the Shedd 3 times in my life. 2 times I got food poisoning. One, I was in like middle school or something and went with my mom just for like a fun girls' day on a Saturday and got sick. And then this most recent time in August, I got sick. Just to top it all off, at the end of August, I caught the office plague, I'll call it. So at my client site, everyone got sick. Like no one was spared. It was one of those things where I was preparing myself to not get sick. Like I've never taken Airborne before, but I was taking like Airborne or the Whole Foods version of it, drinking all of my fluids, like staying away from people, sanitizing my desk, but I still caught it and it was miserable. But at least it only lasted a few days. There's not much to say about September. I kind of hibernated. I took a pause from posting on any social media and kind of went into this state of hibernation throughout the month of September, where I just really wanted to focus on like, why do I post blog posts? Why do I post Instagram posts? I definitely felt burnt out, and I felt like I was treating it more like something I had to do rather than something that I wanted to do, which I really didn't enjoy. And it was really nice to just kind of take that 3-4 week break throughout September and just think about, what is it that I want to do? Why did I start doing this all those years ago? And just have fun with it. I spent a full week at home. I know that sounds super basic and like not exciting, but that was exciting to me because being on the road, traveling all the time, it was nice to just like be at home and like see my friends, go to events in Chicago. And it luckily coincided with my niece's first year birthday, so that was really exciting, and I was glad that I was able to be home for that. Also saw Jidenna in concert, and I don't want to get into it here. If you guys want this video, give me a like or tell me in the comments below. I went and I saw Jidenna in concert, and I went through like a 48 to 72 hour period of like, I knew who he was before, but not like, I didn't know a lot about him. I'm not one of those like people who starts like stalking and being like a groupie about musicians, but I went through this like 48 to 72 hour period after the concert where I like was like, oh my goodness, he's so cool. How did I not know all this stuff about him? Like, oh my gosh, like wow, like what an amazing artist and person. And then something happened and I was just kind of like, oh wait, what? I don't know. Question mark. I know that's vague. If you know anything about Jidenna, maybe you know where I'm coming from. Not saying I dislike Jidenna. Great artist, interesting person. Just don't know if we would be friends. Also went to a work conference-y competition, which some of you may have seen. I posted on my social media. That was really exciting because I was able to go out with a team, and I had an idea. You bring a bunch of people together. We were able to work on the idea together and then present it at the end of the weekend, and we won, which was super, super exciting and a good time. On November 1st, I rolled off of my latest project at work, which was 8 months or so long and definitely very challenging. I feel like that was definitely an underlying part of why, of which I posted on YouTube, went down. I personally think the rate, the consistency rate, the quality also kind of went down. There was definitely a long span of months where I didn't post on the blog because this project was so stressful for me. And whenever my name is on, I want it to be the best that it can be. It also needs to be like what I believe in. And like one thing that my mom always would say growing up is like, do things as unto the Lord. So like, even if somebody treats you badly, even if you don't get the recognition that you deserve, that doesn't mean you stop doing high quality work. Like, you do what you know that you're supposed to do. So there were definitely a lot of ups and downs, but I'm kind of excited to see where the next chapter in my next project is taking me. But if you have any additional questions on like what my life is like as a consultant, do let me know. I try and be as responsive as possible in the comments below. And also a lot of you have actually started reaching out to me on Instagram because you realize I'm much more active on there daily. So thank you so much for watching. This was really fun to make. It was nice to finally be back in front of the camera again, and I look forward to sharing more videos more consistently with you guys soon. Bye.